Hello and welcome back to the Bicycle Bat Cave. Today we're going to talk about the bags by Beaird Goldback Large. Back everybody, it's September when this video is being made and the weather's starting to cool off just a little bit and it really feels like camping and bikepacking weather again. Looking forward to some trips. Got some things scheduled, so hope to bring some more videos to you, but today we're going to talk about the bags by Beaird Goldback Large. This is a small bag manufacturer. It's kind of a single man operation down in Georgia who makes a limited quantity of these, handmade each one, with a couple of different designs and styles and materials that you can choose from. Now this is the Goldback Large and it goes for $240, which is not cheap by any means, but what you're getting is handmade craftsmanship that really has a lot of attention to detail. That being said, it's not without its faults. It does have a few problems that I've found, and one of the reasons that I've kind of waited to do a review on this and been putting it through some paces was to actually use the bag and give you a little feedback about what it's like truly out there when you're putting it on your bike. So the documentation says that this bag is 22 liters, but if you read a little deeper into the details, you'll find that really you can get close to 28 liters with some of the expansion capabilities and the way the bag's designed, and we're going to talk about those details. I'll give you the exact dimensions though, and it's one of the reasons that I have this up on the site because he does a really good job. Overall dimensions, about 21.5 wide, 11.5 high, and 7 inches deep overall. So what you've got here is you've got the X-Pack version of this, kind of in this green color is what I chose. And you'll see that you've got buckles on the front. There on the bottom is several different places where you can put additional things, and I'll show you how I attach this to my bike, but you'll see lots of places to put straps and tie downs and all over this bag. Also on the back side, you'll see how it kind of attaches, where you have these voila strap style with some spacers that I do recommend that you order because I do think they're useful. And then kind of some places to, continue to tie things down and some wear places and points. You also are going to see a couple of dowel rods for stiffeners. There's one that you can place down here on the bottom. There's also one on the interior. You've got pockets on each end here that are covered, and they're nice deep pockets for the most part, fairly wide. One of the things I do wish that they were a little bit deeper. You can get a standard water bottle in here, but it's a squeeze. And I do kind of wish it was just a little bit taller, but they are nice and wide. They do cover pretty well, and you do have these, of course, buckles and straps to tie down. There's one of those on each side. And you've got daisy chains on the top where you can tie more things, and that's not uncommon in these types of bags overall. The front of this, the flap, is interesting and adjustable. Obviously you can tighten, but if you look at how this is designed, the flap obviously unsnaps and can be used to expand this to much larger capacities. And you can then use these buckles. These buckles are also removable and adjustable, so you can adjust them on the daisy chains very easily. And the system overall works really well. What you'll find, let me snap this back on here. What you're going to find on the inside is a little bit of a different design in that there's this cinchable top part that can expand out and then cinch down inside to kind of pull things in and cover them well. But also inside, you're going to find a Teflon style stiffener that helps the bag hold its shape. And that goes all the way down on the inside, curves up and comes back up into the back. That's going to give you some support when the bag's not fully loaded. And it's also removable. So if you need to get in here to clean this thing out, that piece does come out easily so that you can clean, wipe down if things, don't go as you plan. On the inside is the attachment mechanism as well. You're going to see another dowel rod in here, and you're going to see this is where usually they utilize these Voila style straps to attach it to handlebars. And it's an interesting way in which they attach it. Overall, it works pretty well. It's very, very stiff. There is one problem that I'll talk about right now though. So I did some riding with this bag in a torrential downpour. In fact, it was raining so hard. It was one of those rains where you can barely see when you're riding. It was just pouring. One of the things I found that when this is attached to your bar, and basically it goes through these holes, this wraps around your handlebars, and then on the inside, you tie the buckles up and tighten them up and cinch it down. What I found was, what I believe happened was water, it was raining so hard, water was running down this strap and actually went in the slot into the bag. So I did get some water in the bag. I think that's kind of an unusual probably instance because it was really, really pouring, but it is something you need to keep in mind. I do think this could be easily fixed with some kind of a flap that is either sewn or buckled onto here that kind of flaps over this a little bit, just to cover it a little bit to keep the rain from shedding down directly in there. So I do think it could be fixed fairly easily. And I probably will engineer some type of a fix for it myself, but it's feedback to the bag manufacturer that maybe something to consider because I did get some water in and I do believe it went in there. I think the other thing you have to be careful with as well is that the way this is designed with the sides of the bag, you can see that if this doesn't get tucked in and cinched up, the ends of the flaps of the bag might not cover well to keep the water shed off. So you just need to keep that in mind. A lot of that's the way in which you pack your bag and use it, but overall, it has been great once I kind of work out the details of how to sort of make sure it's covered, pack it correctly, and then maybe come up with a little bit of a change in which I covered these just a little bit with some sort of a water shedding. Overall though, I love the bag. The construction is really good. It's X-Pack material on the inside, which you can see here. X-Pack on the inside of here as well, which maybe you can see. And X-Pack, on all of these pockets as well. I do kind of wish maybe there was a front pocket up here or something, or up here rather. Maybe a front pocket here. But, overall it's great. If you're using a tent like the Big Agnes backpack style tent, it will fit in here just perfectly, easily, no problem. It's what I've been doing just to throw some weight on the bike and do some training rides and so forth. Overall, it's a great bag. It's not the cheapest bag, but I really like the design. I have been using this bottom area to run one of these Voila straps through, and then I wrap this around my front rack on the front of my ECR, and that's what I use to hold the bag out a little bit. That also gives me some room that if I want to tuck something on the back side, I can without a problem, so that's something to think about. Bags by Beaird, Goldback large. Great bag, very happy with it. $240, available on the internet if you search it out. It's Bags by Beaird, and you have to get an order in. You have to wait a little bit, but overall this is a great bag. I think it would be useful if you're going to be backpacking. You can rig this up on the back of your bike if you want to as well, although I've not done that. So, maybe I'll play around with that. I do have coming today, should arrive, another Fabio's chest in large. So I'm looking forward to not only getting that mounted on the bike, but also doing a review so you guys can see how it mounts on different types of handlebars, front, back, all that good jazz. So thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.